Okay. And pop this up. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RoadRunner and Ryan. Today, we're going to talk about following the line, and as always, this is brought to you by wagerfuel.com. Hello, RoadRunner. How are you today?
Hi, Ryan. I'm doing fine. Thank you. And hello, everybody. And thanks for joining in.
All right. So we want to do this this edition of Double R and Ryan here and talk about the lines. So the lines are very important when placing sports bets. We take this very heavily into consideration. We're always looking for the best lines. This is going to be important for novice bettors to understand this concept, whereas you'll see different lines at different books. And they're really important. They're not just picking the Eagles to win or placing a friendly bet with someone you know, or entering into an office pool where you're just selecting the winner of games. This is more about what is the spread at, and what is the line associated with that. What is the money line, and for over unders. And there's all different types of prop bets that you could also play out there with different lines. But what we're going to discuss here is that when you're investing in sports gaming here, we really want to get the best lines that we can and continually beat the lines. So we're going to get into this here a little bit and talk about the different things that you could do in following line in order to make your best bet each time that you place one. So as usual, I'm going to defer to the Roadrunner here to add most of the color around these different topics. So let's get into the discussion here. All right. So the first thing that we have, Roadrunner, is set your line. So who does this apply to, and when does this apply? What is this exactly?
This is more for the creator type of bettor that we spoke about.
That's right.
Someone that is going to work from the ground up and develop their own opinion by anything from statistics, whatever they use in their criteria to come up with the game that they like. So while you do that, and a lot of people I know do like to, bet their own opinion on the game, but just set the line on it and see where you think it is compared to what the line came out at or what it is at the time. Because it's very important because, the better you can become betting sports is the time where you can come up and set your line and then see what's out there and saying, hey, you know what, I come pretty close. And a lot of the times I'm off on the line, but I have the better line than they do, at the sports books I use. So it's a great way of just double checking on your opinion and see where it sits. So setting your own line, it's fun too. It's just see what you're made of and compare yourself against the pros.
Yeah, so this is the type of thing that's like a baseline for before you even look at what the lines are set to at your respective books. And I think that this could also be a way for you yourself to get sharper, to see where you set the lines versus where the bookmakers do, and maybe this could help us all learn more and more about handicapping if that's something that you would like to pursue. Okay, so that's good. Next one is get an accurate opening line. So what's this all about, and how can we do this, Roadrunner?
Well, I would use to get an accurate opening line is get the opening line from your sports books that you have when they come out and kind of check to what day they come out, what time they come out, and compare them and come up with a consensus of what that opening line is. Now, if your sports books come out with their opening line on we'll say, a Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. for the NHL, well, they're coming out late with their opening lines. Most opening lines are actually out the night before. So contact your sports book, ask them when their opening lines come out, and get an idea, and run your programs and compare and get a strong consensus of what that opening line was at your specific books.
Yep, and folks, so this is for the better that really wants to be very involved in getting that best line. We will have this information for you at Wager Fuel. Sometimes this can take a lot of your time if you're following a sport or a league that plays almost every day, like say Major League Baseball, where you're going to want to pay attention to the opening line. Uh, that's set after all the games are played at night for the next day, and then how they move during the day. But for things like football, that's a weekly sport, I think that this is a lot more realistic to be able to see what the opening line is, how it performs during the week, and then check it again towards the end of the week and where it's settling in for the closing line. So they're just things to keep in mind. And if you don't like to do that kind of stuff, we're gonna do it for you at Wager Fuel. Okay. So the next thing that we have, and you've heard this from us many times in many different segments, and you will continue to hear it from us. Shopping the lines at multiple books, we think it's important. We do this, and we want to make sure we get this message out there to our members. But Double R, let's talk about shopping the lines at multiple books.
It equates to line value, which will determine the difference between a winner and loser when it comes to sports betting. Getting an extra half point means so much. Getting the right odds on the game, like a minus 110 each way, which is a 20-cent line, which we're all accustomed to. But the different books that are coming now here in the United States that are coming in and setting up shop, they're everywhere from a 24-cent line to a 28-cent line. So, get the right line on the game, but also get the right odds on the game. Very important to do your shopping. It's just equivalent to getting the opening line from your books. When you're ready to bet, look at the books you have access to and compare and get the best number for your play. Again, if you're creating and playing your own information, play it at the same time all the time. Compare your books, and it'll make a difference. It could help you become a better, not even a better, but also a winning better. So very important to have different outs and do wise shopping.
Yep, absolutely. And folks, for those of you that are new betters, try to be also aware of the juice that the sports book is taking too on the lines. Some places you'll see minus 105 or really minus 110 one side and plus 110 on another side. That's the 20-cent line that RoadRunner was talking about. But we're seeing books now in the U.S. stateside that some are 12-cent lines. I've even seen 18-cent lines. So that's all money that the book is taking from the bettor for their services. So try to be aware of that. If you have better lines at one versus the other, you may want to look very seriously at what they're offering for a given event. And those small increments of money do add up in the long run when we're trying to grind out those daily or weekly winnings. And here's a very, very important one, which is beat the closing line. So Roadrunner, let's talk about this. I know that this is important to you, and it's become important to me very much, and it should be important to our members out there.
Well, yeah, this is the hard part, is to beat the closing line. Where are the lines going to move? I said originally, if you're creating, bet the same at the same time all the time, even if it's early, because there's no way you as a creator are going to be able to bet the game and then have the line move during the week or during that day or night in your favor 98% of the time. It just won't happen. The pros don't even hit that high in the games they play early. But for the most part, beating the closing line is huge. I personally wait until I know the right opportunity arises, which is more of an art than a science. But if you can beat the closing line, it's so important. And, we'll give you different ways of doing it, different ideas, different strategies, and things like that. But for the most part, I worry about the creator, because if he is playing early, his chances of beating that closing line over time is not going to happen.
Yeah, and everyone, beating the closing line is an important mark of a good better, a sharper better, in that if you do not beat the closing line in the long run, you're probably not going to be very profitable or successful. And it is possible to, I've heard this said before. Um, some people think that every bet won is a good bet and every bet lost is a bad bet, but not necessarily. You can make a bad bet that wins, and that would be not beating the closing line. There was still a better bet to be had. But if you're consistently beating the closing line, you should turn out quite profitable. All right. So that's going to do us. That's going to do it for this segment. Roadrunner, anything else that you would like to shout out to the folks out there?
Just to let people know we're here to help you. We're here to get to know you and build a relationship where we can communicate with one another, and we can help you become a smarter, more profitable sports bettor. Anywhere from the beginner that may need help and assistance to someone that's been doing it for years that just needs to get another point of view. So we look forward to doing more videos, more educational um, information is what we're really striving out to do here at Wager Fuel. And I thank you always for listening. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Roadrunner. And guys, thanks again for listening. Coming soon, wagerfuel.com, also featuring Fantasy Fuel. July 1st is our launch date, so keep an eye out for that website, and we'll look forward to having you as a member. In the meantime, you could always email us at wagerfuel@gmail.com, and we'll get back in touch with you. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.